Oh, and welcome to the Stellar Monarchs Friday Focus. It's been a long time, Dave, but finally back together again at Statler and Waldorf. Myself, Graham Munsey, joined by Dave Harloway, as we look back on a bitterly disappointing night for the Stellar Monarchs as they went down 44-46 to the Redcar Bears, a result that also meant the aggregate bonus point heads on its way to Teesside. So 3 points for the Bears, 0 for the Monarchs. And Dave, it was a night that I said before on the stream, I felt it was two very evenly matched teams. Both teams are about almost identical, with a big top two, kind of solid middle order, and then what the hope is reserves improving on their average. But unusually, I guess, for a Monarchs team, certainly this season, it all came down to the Riders 1 and 5, and it was the Redcar Bears pair that smoked the Monarchs pair in that front. When you look at the final scores, at 31-15 or something like that, or 28, including bonus points. I think
28-15. Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunately, as you say, it's not been like it. Josh Bicken has been fantastic, all season. Yeah. Justin Sedgman's in the form of his life at the moment. But Charles and Danny done a number on them tonight. Unfortunately, Danny with a maximum. Yeah. Charles Wright only dropped
2 points. I think
2 points. Very impressive. And in Redcar, they'll probably look at a couple of the riders underperforming as well. So for the Monarchs, it's been a long, hard week. That's perhaps looking for excuses for some of them. But we just ran out of steam, and as we kind of said off air, we're in a position to go and win the bonus point at one point, and we thought we'd go on and do it, but Redcar had other ideas. Yeah, I mean, you're 8 points up with 4 races to go, and 8 points was the bonus, the amount needed. It was 49-41 to the Bears down there a couple of weeks ago, and you kind of hoped, we'd seen Danny King and Charles Wright had been excellent throughout, but Josh had won his previous race, Justin had won his previous 2 races before Heat 15, so you're hoping they would be able to get into the mix. But I think maybe special mention, you're right, a few of the Bears that were hoping for better, but like Dan Gilks and Jason Edwards really came to the fore in Heats 12 and 14. Gilks only had 1 point up to that point, took the Heat win, and Jake Mulford, who was excellent throughout, he scored in Heat 14, Ben Trigger it was, that got the point in Heat 12, and then we'll see Heat 14 in a little bit. It took a last heat burst by Paco Estania to stop Jason Edwards winning that one, and that was maybe where, as much as Heats 13 and 15 are big 5-1s for Redcar, that was as much where the match was won and lost. Yeah, I mean, you try not to pick on people and understand the same where the weaknesses are, but we're just not picking up those third places and turning 3-0s into 4-2s. There are a couple of 3-0s earlier on that perhaps should have been 4-2s. Connor Cole's gating's at his best at the moment. He can't fault for his gating, but he's just getting past too often. He had fantastic ride in Heat 8 to get the 5-1, which put us into the position I think we were going to kick on and win the meeting. But unfortunately, in Heat 12 and 14, we've fallen short. And Max James, despite all his promise and his good things that we're seeing, the good potential we're seeing every time he's on track, unfortunately, 3-0s is not there. And for one person who did, again, coming back from there was lots of chat about his performance on Tuesday night, but his performances since then was Kai Thompson, making Monarch match easily, deservedly in Heat 15 as well. And looking good. He only, apart from that Heat 15, he only dropped 1 point. So when Kai's back on that form, unfortunately, it's one of these things for the Monarchs where one part of the team performs, another part of the team doesn't quite get there. Yeah, it's been the story of the season, really, hasn't it, so far, that I'm picking my words carefully here. When I say lets the team down, I don't mean lets the team down. I mean doesn't maybe score the points required on the night, which I'm through that you can maybe point to 2 riders in every match, but it's a different 2 riders in every match, and that's what makes it difficult, because you're right, you look at the middle order scoring, and 10 plus 2 from Kai, 6 plus 2 from Lasse, and 8 from Paco. That's more than every one of them doing their job or close to it. As you say, Connor, paid 6. It's the way the paid 6 comes maybe frustrates a few, and the Heat wins weren't there at the end of the match for the Monarchs 1 and 5, which is probably the first time all season we've really said that. So it's frustrating. Redcar were a bogey team, I thought, coming, and it proved to be. And Dave, you caught up with Lasse Fredriksen after to get that reaction from the Monarchs camp.
Lasse Fredriksen, it's been a long, hard week for the Monarchs, and unfortunately we've just run out of steam in the end and fall a bit short tonight.
Yeah, it's been a up and down week. Like for the team, it's been been hard. Like we struggled down at Plymouth and picked ourselves a little bit up in pool. I think not myself, but the team did. So it was encouraging, but it just fell short tonight, which is a bit disappointing, both for myself and the team. I felt I should have had a few more, but it is what it is, and we need to bounce back quickly.
Yeah, and it started well tonight with the 5-1 3 with Baco and you know, we had the better of most of their team, but unfortunately Charles and Danny just couldn't quite get the better of them of the night.
Oh yeah, as you say, both Charles and Danny are two of the best top riders in the league, and they had us tonight, and we need to hands up to them, and that's good for them. But I felt like we should have had it, but it wasn't to be, and as I said, we need to pick ourselves up, and we go again in, I think it's 2 weeks' time here. So that's we need to regroup quickly.
Yeah, working good comments in a couple of weeks, and I'll take a mammoth effort to get the bonus there. We're now starting to struggle to make those playoffs, but you guys are going to fight all the way to the end.
Yeah, of course we're going to fight. I don't know what the aggregate is. I wasn't there, but as I said, we're going to fight, and we want to be dominant at home, and I feel like we have actually been that this year, but it just wasn't to be tonight. But we come again against Workington. Of course, they're a good team as well, but we need to bounce back from this, and Workington's going to be the office.
So, and we've got the BSN semi-final to come at some point as well. And after going better than Scunthorpe at the end last week, that's a chance to cover the season then.
Yeah, of course we want to go into that cup final. We got Scunthorpe, which we've beat quite good out here, and we got them. We lost by I don't know what 9 away, which was not too bad. But I know we can go better at that place. I can go a lot better at that place. I struggled badly, but as I said, I think we can really go into that cup final, and if we're in the cup final, anything can happen, and we want that trophy this year.
Thanks, Lasse.
Yeah, Lasse Fredriksen there, as honest and forthright as ever. A decent night's work for the Monarchs Norwegian, as I say, 6+2, but in a losing effort to Redcar. And if you look over the Redcar team, we've touched on it already, the power came from the top two. Danny King and Charles Wright are as good a top two as any team in the league. 15+1 for Charles, 13+2 maximum. I think that might be the first away maximum of the season here. Excellent work by Danny King. But back up kind of throughout, Connor Bailey's the one that will be sorely disappointed with his night. He failed to score, but we touched on it. Everyone kept battling. Dan Gilch, retirement in his first one, only 1 point his next two. His head could have been down by heat 12, but he pops it and win it. Jason Edwards scores in every one of his rides. He finishes on 6. Ben Trigger, people look at a scorecard of 2+1, but both times
that's 1 point of difference.
He beat his opponent. He beat a Monarchs reserve the 2 times he faced a Monarchs reserve. So that's all the crash for him. And then Jake Milford, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone work as hard for 6+2. I think every one of them came from the back almost, or in battles. So good scoring. And when you've got a reserve like that, it's 8, paid 11 at the bottom. But we've touched on the aggregate at the top. It maybe allows that one rider in Connor to have a real off night and still get to 46, which is what they've done. And maximum man, as we said, for maximum man for Olympia, my teeth in for that one. What's Danny King? Dave caught up with him after.
Danny King, maximum tonight, and a win at Edinburgh. Fantastic performance for Redcar.
It was really good. It was a close meeting. It was going his way. We had to use our tack sub. We didn't have the best of starts, but we kept fighting, and to get that last heat 5-1 for us was just fantastic.
Yeah, it was Monarchs obviously got the lead early on, and really it was yourself and Charles that was keeping it going, but a couple of other boys plugged in and got the crucial points, so you were able to deliver that win.
Yeah, I think it was from the tack sub. We got the 5-1, and that put us right back in the meeting, and I think it just lifted the boys a little bit. Had a bit of a chat, and everyone finished with a good ride, which is the main thing.
Yeah, it's a challenging season. Injuries have been there, but good to have a performance like that for yourself.
It's been really good. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. The fields this year. There were a few knocks and things, but it's nice to be back. 7 weeks is a long time off, but every meeting I've been feeling better and better, and just a great feeling to go out there on a tricky technical track and go and get a maximum against some good quality opposition.
Yeah. Well done, Danny, and thanks very much for tonight.
Cheers, anytime.
Yeah, Danny King there. You can't get a better night's work than a maximum and a heat 15 5-1 decider away from home. And And as I always say, sometimes it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And Redcar finished with aplomb, made up an 8-point gap over the last 4 heats, turned into a 2-point advantage, and the only time they were ahead in the night was the only time it matters, when the checkered flag went down after heat 15. So 3 points is to the Bears. The Monarchs now need to lock their wounds. They've got a fortnight off before they're back in championship action against Workington. Next week, of course, we turn back to the academy, and it's a similar looking name that comes up. It's the Middlesbrough, what are they called? Tigers. There you go.
The knock from the past.
Exactly. Middlesbrough Tigers is that come up, so that'll mean Mulford and Trigger. They'll know their way back up by then. But as always, before we finish up tonight, we'll get our heat of the night. I'm sure any Redcar fans watching have been screaming for heat 13 and 15. This one's a wee bit of a Monarchs show, I'm afraid, Redcar folks. So we'll see heat 14 and an excellent win by Paco Castagna.
Into this one, but next to him is Jason Edwards. It's definitely Paco Castagna in gate 3, and it's definitely Jake Mulford from gate 4. And Edwards is away well. Mulford, he's going to try and go round the field to join his teammate. He hasn't quite got in as the Monarchs tuck in behind. Paco Castagna, he's on the inside here. Can he get a move on Edwards? Mulford, he's looking to go round the field as well, and he's got round Connor Cole. Redcar on a 4-2, and this will tie up. Connor Cole's back up the inside. Another interesting race here, John.
Yeah, definitely. But Paco does need to try and find a way past Edwards here, because I think this will clinch the aggregate. This will give Redcar the bonus point if it's a 3-3. But definitely keep an eye on Mulford as well, chasing Coles. There's 2 races in 1 year. This could go anywhere with 1 lap to go.
Yeah, Paco moving to the outside, as Mulford's trying to do the same on Coles. Mulford would make the loose stick this time. Can he hold it? He has done. Another excellent race. Connor Coles here up the inside, but I think Mulford's got it. Paco going for one last blast at the front. And Paco's
got him!
I think Paco's got that on the line. I think that's went from a 3-all white, red, blue, yellow to a 3-all red, white, yellow, blue on the last lap.
Yep. Interesting battle there at the front and the back, and it would said how well Mulford battled all night. That showed there, but Monarchs captain Paco Castagna can be happy with his night. Also 8 points, but he won't be happy about the overall score. Final score here was 44 to the Stellar Monarchs, 46 to the Redcar Bears. That'll just about wrap us up, Dave. It's been a pleasure being back here. It's been about 6 weeks, it feels like.
It's been a few weeks now, yeah.
You've put some of it miles on the camper van since then, travelling around Germany. But we'll be back at some point during the week to preview the academy match next week against the Middlesbrough Tigers. And then next Friday, we'll be back to look over that as well. So, until then, as always, thank you very much for watching, and good night.
Good night.